Hi everyone. I just want to make this video a bit more personal and maybe a little bit more emotional because it really somehow it really deeply means a lot for me, you know. So okay, as you can see in all previous consecutive videos, I've already talked mostly about the reality versus imagination aspect, right? And then I've also talked in my previous video about AI, right? So I want to discuss more about this topic of AI, but this one is really more deeply personal, and basically I just watched this one AI video that my friends share to me, you know, um, and when I watch it, you know, I don't know, I just feel emotional, you know, I just feel so emotional because I'll share the video link below in the description, okay, under this video, so you can see. But I will also, if possible, I will also put the screenshot of the video just for you all to know what I'm talking about, so you can know the context. I will put the screenshot as the for the profile picture for this video, you know. Hopefully it will work, okay. This is all kind of spontaneous, you know. I'm just making as along the way now, you know, without any script or written plans or anything, you know. But I already kind of know the general basic main points that I want to talk about in this video. I don't know if this is going to be short or long, we'll see, okay. But this is going to be very kind of emotional for me, deeply emotional. So okay, back to my original point. I've just watched this AI generated video, I guess. This AI video, okay, it's actually a music cover, um, and a Japanese music cover. Um, I'll I'll explain. Maybe I'll just explain it now. Okay, spontaneously. Okay, along the way I go. Um, I um I don't know. I'm If you know me, you know, I've already written my real name actually in my profile of this in the profile of this YouTube video channel, so you can know, you know. And if you go check my main channel, you will know, if any of you even find this video, okay, you will notice, you know, that I'm actually I love Japanese culture, right? I love Japanese culture. I love a lot of Japanese things, you know. So including maybe like an anime, manga. Well, I don't really read manga. I've watched more of the anime. You know, I'm more into anime type of person. Although when I was a little kid, I used to read like manga comic books translated into the, you know, into Indonesian, which is my country, the language. Okay. Anyway, so the this AI video is actually about the cover. It's entirely made by AI. Can you imagine that? It's entirely made by AI, and it's both the video and the audio, the sound, the music. You know, yeah, especially this. I want to talk about the music arrangement. It's just really good. Even though it's a cover, it's a video cover basically, right? So it's from the anime Sakura Card Captor, which was really quite famous, quite well known back then in the, I will say, 90s, in the 90s era. So yeah, it's a kind of quote unquote old anime, but kind of like legendary too, you know. Yeah. Anyway, same like Evangelion, you know, maybe, or Ghibli, if you know, more stuff like that. Naruto, well, Naruto is in the 2000s, I think. You know, but that's also my favorite anime anyway. Anyway, uh, okay, this video cover this AI generated video and audio cover, right? It's not perfect, I would say. The video is not perfect, but God, by God, the music arrangement though, as a musician myself, although admittedly I'm a failed musician. Okay, I'm an aging failed musician. I don't know if I should talk about this maybe later on in this video, or on the next video, or later on. It's going to be more personal. Let me see about it. I'll think about it maybe. Anyway, let's move along first in this video. So yeah, as I was watching this AI generated video, music cover, right? And it's in the form of, I don't know if any of you are into like especially Japanese and Korean, I would say also, but more especially, I think it's a Japanese culture thing. Recently, actually, quite recently, do you know the first take? It's called the first take. So it's like a YouTube format for the cover. Basically, usually originally it's humans, of course, right? It's humans, all these artists, musicians, singers, whatever, they collaborate, or they do music cover on this quote unquote first take platform, right? First take. And then usually it's like with the white background, and usually generate quite a lot of view, actually, maybe sometimes even like millions. The first take it's called. And this AI, it try to imitate, that format, the first take format. When, oh my God, when I watched that, it's a, by the way, oh sorry, kind of jumping around again. I'm doing it all spontaneously without any pre-written script. Okay. The title of the song, I will share the video below, okay, in the video description below, so you all can see it if any of you watching this. So the song is Catch You Catch Me. It's quite a catchy song, especially if you like Japanese J-pop music, or anime music, something like that. You will be familiar. Basically it's cute, but the music arrangement is so it's definitely it's really good. I can only tell that as a musician myself. I mean, I listen to a lot of music, like orchestra, whatever, but this one, even though it's in a band format, you will know what I mean, when I share the original video link. Okay. And it's just recent video, actually. Anyway, yeah, I watched this video, right? This AI generated video and audio, sound, music, and I don't know, it just stirs something, inside me, And this is what I want to talk, I want to discuss about this. Like, why an AI video, AI video can make me really deeply emotional like this. And it's not just only one, mind you, I remember, in Christmas, back in last year Christmas, okay, December 2025, right, which is just last December, okay. There was also, I just stumbled, I don't know why, I just keep in my primary YouTube channel, which is not this one, in my primary YouTube channel, my main YouTube channel, which goes with my real name, as I already told you before. You can just go search it if you want. I just got recommended also this AI generated video, right? Again, it also somehow moved me, deeply touched me a lot. Why is this? I mean, like a lot of people, most, I know, people hate AI, a lot of people hate AI, they see AI as a threat, right? I've also I've touched upon this AI thing also in my previous video. If you can go watch my previous video. I don't know, I'll be very, very honest. I'll be frank, okay? I'll be very, very honest. When people say that they hate AI, I don't know, I don't think the same, personally, I don't think the same, like, I don't know, most people, maybe they look from the most quote unquote the practical side, right? The practical, for example, like in the terms of course, like uh, business wise or financial, economically, especially job market, right? Because most of the argument that I've read, especially in internet online, right? It's basically people saying that, people complaining that, hey, AI will take over the jobs. This AI thing, this AI will replace humans. AI will take over the world. No, not take over the world. That's maybe too much. That's just my imagination, maybe, or maybe a lot of you maybe have this imagination too. I don't know. But it's practically okay. More. Let's talk about practical first. Practicality. AI will take over a lot of jobs, right? For example, artists, the drawings, the music, it's already begin. Even movies. I've read online again in the internet, some comments, social media, that in the future, even AI will be able to make or generate movies on its own. So that's the future. AI is the future, guys. You know, uh, hey, welcome to the future, right? I guess. But okay, let me go back again. But why people hate AI so much? I can talk a lot about this, but for this particular video, I just want just to make it short. I hope not getting too much long, more than half an hour, 30 minutes or more, So I just try to compress. Okay, I want to talk more about the emotional aspect. Okay, like I said in the beginning of this video, this is going to be a very deeply emotional video, personal, because this is what I want to talk. This is what I want to talk about and share with you all. You see, on the emotional aspect, right? People keep saying, oh, AI is fake. AI is fake. AI is synthetic, right? AI cannot produce originality. AI cannot produce like even the emotional depth like what humans produce. Oh, really? I would argue back. Like if you're looking at today's modern human society, okay, today's modern society, this so-called 21st era century, okay, you will see, which one is more mechanical. Let me ask you, are you gonna say, are you really seriously going to say that, hey, the people, humans that you see, they are like very, very, there are still a lot of, moving, deeply touching, emotional, human connection, bonding, or, soulful, even soulful, heartfelt, heartwarming things, right? I'm just saying all these words, but I hope, you will get any of the some or any of the phrase and maybe relate with it. Sorry, English is English is not my first language, okay, so forgive me for that. So did you see my point? Can you try to see my point? Which one is more mechanical? This is what I want to talk about. Humans, I would say, even human society nowadays in this modern capitalistic era, even human society is so mechanical, robotic, even more robotic than AI, I would say. When I share, when I look at this, remember I previously mentioned about two, actually, not only one, right? These two AI generated videos, right, and content, whatever. I feel so moved, even though I know it's so far from perfect, but this AI content, I'm sure some of you maybe will know what I'm talking about. When you look at all these, some or maybe many of these AI generated contents, they can somehow feel even steer more human emotions than most or a lot of the real humans contents nowadays, especially in the social media. You go open TikTok, Instagram, Instagram, or I don't know, whatever, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, all these social media platform, right? And what you see, you basically only see like, oh, engagement, engagement, okay? Oh, it's all about likes, chasing likes, chasing followers, chasing blue ticks, or FYP in TikTok, whatever, whatever. People just there is no more soul, today, even in human being. Can you believe that? Can you believe that when I say that AI has more soul than humans? Because that's what's really happening right now. Music is becoming, so generic, so bland, so repetitive, as so formulaic, formulaic. I don't know if I pronounce it right. You get what I mean, right? It's all become this. I hate this so much. It's become mass produced, corporate made. It's just become a product. Whether it's a movie, whether it's a music, whether it's a game, things that we used to love, and they all become they all become just like a product, and the worst is, it all looks the same, it all sounds the same, basically the bottom line is how to chase targets, goals, how to chase profits, how to chase money, how to chase followers, status, likes, image, comments, followers, all these superficial things, shallow, superficial, vain, vanity things, like there is no soul anymore, and then you watch some of these AI generated contents, right? And then it can somehow, even just looking at the videos, even though it's fake, we know it's fake, right? It's not the real. For example, I don't know, if the AI generate like a human like, personal, even from the anime or from your favorite anime, manga, or novel, or comic books or whatever, they generate into the real life, the real life version, like I'm sure you've seen, many of you maybe have already seen this. A lot of AI contents videos like this, right? Or reels or shorts or whatever, short videos or whatever, you know what I mean, right? So, but somehow strangely it stirs some emotion in you, at least, some real genuine human emotions in you, much more than today human produced contents or whatever, music, movies, films, Netflix series or whatever, novel, light novel, whatever, don't get me wrong, there are still some really good artworks or whatever that human made, but I don't know, lately I just feel like it's getting soulless, it's getting so mechanical. Okay, so it's already almost 20 minutes, so I have to move to the second point, but I hope you get my first point. Okay, which one is more mechanical? Let me ask you. Mechanical, I hope I pronounce it right. Okay, so I repeat it again to be clear. Which one is more mechanical, quote unquote, the human or AI? I would argue, the line, the line is getting more blurry. We don't know anymore. In fact, if we're talking about the criteria, the criterion is what? If it can move up if it can touch your heart, hey, maybe that one is more genuine, more authentic, than the soulless bland one, even if it's produced by humans, the real humans, real human beings. You see my point? Now I want to move to the second point. This is still related, so this is getting more and more deeply personal. Okay, the reason why it almost, or even it touched me, it even made me a little bit cry, even when watching this AI video, is because God, I it reminds me of the things that could have been. I used to be in a band, right? I used to, as a musician myself, right? I used to have a band, I used to form a band, actually, some bands, throughout my life, through my life, and now I'm in the middle age, in my 40s. Let me just open it to you. Let me but back then in my 20s, I still remember, all this. Suddenly, watching all watching this AI video, it just reminds me, of the things that could have been, but I cannot anymore, for one and many reasons, because again, I've talked in this YouTube channel about reality, right? The reality is so limiting, it's so constraining. There is a lot of constraint, there is a lot of things that I cannot do, or at least it's not possible anymore, maybe even, I've discussed about this more in the previous video. You can go check it out if you want. Check them out. Check the videos. Okay. So the reason it moves me is because this quote unquote this lost feelings, the dreams that are lost, the things that could have been, and this AI, it instantly, or well, not instantly, of course, people who use this generate this AI content, of course, maybe, well, they have to still type some prompts, right? Even though a lot of people argue, well, it's easy, it's so easy. That's why people hate AI, because everybody now can just make any kind of arts easily, just type some prompts in ChatGPT, or whatever it is, Grok, whatever, X, DeepSeek, whatever, and voila, tada, and then you can already generate an image, whatever, and even some, I would not discuss, some violations of the human's right, or whatever, privacy, whatever it is, what I'm talking about, right? So I don't want to talk in this video, because it will get so long. It will get too long. Okay, so back again to my point. You see, all this AI generated content, right? They reminds me of what could have been. And when I've looked at this, immediate AI content, right? Whether it's videos or whatever it is, right? Mostly usually it's video, but even music also, sometimes music, songs, AI generated. It somehow it moves me a lot, because, and this is another very important point, also very related point that I want to talk about, because I cannot do this with humans sometimes, yeah, real human, real people, real person. Why? Let me explain why. Because now, this is related with my first point, actually, the previous point. Now, in our modern capitalistic 21st century era society, right? Yeah, it gets long, I know, but yeah, in today's modern world, everything is so competitive in humans world, right? It's all about flexing. You've heard about flexing, like flexing this, or hustle culture, hustle this, hustle that, being productive, self-growth, chasing target, chasing goals, motivation, it all become like, what is this? There is no harmony anymore, and it's so hard sometimes, like, to know that in today's era, I don't know why, like, human interaction, it becomes so difficult. It's so hard. Have you noticed this? This is related with social media, of course. Maybe some of you, any of you, maybe if you're watching this video, if you happen to find this video somehow, you will know, what I'm talking about. Maybe at least, some of you. Humans interaction, it becomes soulless, like I said before, right? It becomes soulless. It become it's all about it's not about harmony anymore. It's all about, how to chase followers, how to we have to be very careful, nowadays, when we interact, with human being, with people, right? Especially, I don't know, I have to really say this honestly, as a male, as a man myself, but it's between opposite gender even. Yeah, I'm talking about really, really, about the opposite sex, the opposite gender. Not saying that I want to start a gender war or anything like that. This video is not about that. Maybe I will discuss maybe in the next videos, but it's related. Okay. You know it's so difficult nowadays, the interaction between people, right? People keeps there is a lot of YouTube, a lot of contents or videos or media articles that already discuss about this. You can just go search, look up for it. That, like, ironically, the more in this connected era, we are becoming more and more disconnected, between people, between human beings, right? Because why? Yeah, because like this, that's why I was saying, before, which one is more mechanical? If you say AI is mechanical, I would say not necessarily. In fact, humans are more mechanical. Human can be more mechanical nowadays. It's so sad, to watch, like, the oh my god, like the things that I used to be, like that, like the things that could have been, like I've said, right? Like I said, I'm a musician and I used to perform in bands, and now it's so hard even even if I want to make a band again, with humans, with people again. The reality, just it's so hard, it's almost impossible. It's not me being pessimistic or depressing or whatever, depressed or whatever it is. It's just reality. It's just reality. I'm speaking about facts, reality, the truth, the harsh truth. It's so hard, especially in my country, and I even haven't talked about, I'm a Chinese Indonesian, right? It's so hard, talking about ethnicity and whatever, and also the algorithm thing, so it's ironic. It's really ironic and absurd. I would say absurd, ironic that all this, also that what humans create all this technology also, right? Other than AI, right? Like all the social media thing, it's becoming something that poisoning the human genuine heartfelt connection or relationships, relationship or whatever it is. It's all replaced by all these superficial, vain, superficial, shallow things. You know what I'm talking about. I kind of lost track of my mind. What I'm so I'm sorry. Again, this video I made spontaneously, but basically, my main point, I still remember my main points, and this is one of the most important point that I want to make. Like, for example, between the I will touch, okay, upon the relationship between male and female. Also, it's become so complicated right now, right? As if it's it's so complicated, in TikTok, IG, Instagram, everywhere, it's mostly now people, it's gender, it's sex, it's sex, it's gender, either male or female, even female, I would say, nowadays, with all this feminism culture and everything, not saying that it's wrong, but if it goes overboard, it's gone, it's just too much, and it makes, and the man is also the same, with all this, I don't know, male loneliness epidemic, and whatever, incel or whatever, I can talk about this, because this is my secret YouTube channel. I will never be able to talk about this in my main primary YouTube channel, because I will get judged, I will get judged so badly. See what I'm talking about. And even also the issue of mental health, right? We're talking about mental health. The ironic thing is, right, mental health awareness is now rising, right? But the irony is, a lot of people are actually getting more mental health problems, right? Like depression, anxiety, depression, suicidal, all these things, like, why? Have you ever wondered why? So again, let me ask again the question, my my original question. Which one is more mechanical? Which one is more mechanical? Is it AI or is it human beings? us, human being. Hey, you know what I'm talking about? Isn't it kind of strange? It's ironic, it's kind of funny, but it's sad also at the same time. That we've come to this point right now. At least I think, I feel, that I know, and I know I'm not alone in feeling or thinking like this. I feel, maybe, just maybe, and this is going to be my last point. Just maybe, AI could replace us in the future, especially in the far future, or maybe even in the near future. If you pay attention to how fast, how rapid this AI progress, AI, how fast, how rapid AI is making progress nowadays. The technology. I'm sure a lot of you, or perhaps even all of you, will be amazed. Like the exponential rate. Like AI keep making progress. I was getting interviewed, a month ago by someone from overseas. He said that he's a filmmaker or something. He found me online. Through Reddit actually. So I was quite honored. I share all this thing. All this fascination. My fascination about AI. This whole AI, artificial intelligence thing. Sorry. AI could be the future, or in fact, AI will be the future. We don't know, yeah. We don't know for sure, okay. But can you imagine, as in this video, especially, I just want to talk, maybe in the future, and combine, especially with, I also talk about this in my previous video. Combine, let's say, with the other technology, future technology like VR, virtual reality, or I don't know, mind uploading. Try to look up for it. Google it. Mind uploading. I don't know. AI singularity. Things like this. Transhumanism, whatever it is. Gene editing. All this stuff. There is even a YouTube channel talk about this. But anyway, yeah. All this technology. If you think about it, in the future, maybe even not I don't know how long it will take, but maybe if we haven't destroyed ourselves as human species, that is, maybe in the future, we could even live inside this so-called AI generated worlds, even, or universe. This AI generated universe or world. Can you imagine that? This is what's really get exciting. Exciting. Like, can you imagine? Have you watched the movie Ready Player One? It's a Steven Spielberg movie, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot the year. It's called the title of the movie. The movie is called Ready Player One. Ready Player One. So you can look for it. Directed by I think by Steven Spielberg. The premise is good, but I hate the ending. And I'm sure you know why. If you pay attention to what I'm talking about. In this video and my previous videos, right? Anyway, but that world, that concept, it's maybe it will it could become our future, or the Matrix, or whatever it is, that we're living inside. Or if you're watching anime, is not isekai. Like Sword Art Online, Log Horizon, things like this, right? In games, I forgot which games is it. Basically, that the stories about we're living inside this virtual reality, like virtual worlds or universe. We're living inside a computer, maybe, or simulation, or I've talked about this also in my previous video. But you see what I'm talking about. My point is, this is going to be probably going to be my last point, hopefully, because it's already 34 minutes. Maybe in the future, I don't know if it's near or far future. Again, maybe we could live inside all this imagined world or universe generated by AI. AI, artificial intelligence. Just like back to the AI video that I've shared. That I've talked about in the beginning of this video. that I share the video, the video link below, the YouTube video link below, this AI video that really deeply moved me. Maybe in the far future, people will retreat, just like the movie Ready Player One that I've just mentioned before, just now. Maybe people will retreat. People will escape from this, sorry to say, shitty reality, because it's just too much, real life, real world reality is just too much, it's too broken, it's too broken. The world we're living in is too broken that we cannot, it's hopeless, basically, that, people, maybe human being, the future civilization, mankind, human species, they will retreat more into this so-called virtual endless possibilities, unlimited possibilities world or universe, this VR generated, AI generated universe, world, simulation, dimensions, or whatever it is. There's even a theory I forgot about, why there is no, we cannot find aliens, because all the aliens already retreat into the advanced civilizations out there, in the space, cosmos, universe. Maybe they all already know, and they retreat into the, the mind uploading into the virtual world, the virtual, the digital virtual world, living the physical painful reality, existence, if you want to talk about this deeply, much more deeply. Okay, you see where I'm getting at? I said this video is going to be emotional. It is emotional, but I'm surprised that I'm not crying when making this video, because before I made this video, the thing that I share in this video, especially in the beginning of this video, it's what making me really almost crying, in tears, because, as I've watched this particular AI video that my friend shared, that I mentioned about in the beginning of the video, I just keep oh my God, I just feel sad, heartbroken somehow, like, this is going to be very, very my last point, okay? Sorry about that. It's just like the reality is so hard, and I'm watching all this AI generated content, it feels so warm, it feels so emotional, at least for me personally, because I see all this, what could have been, what could have been, that I cannot, I don't know, that I cannot have the same exact feeling or sentiments when I see nowadays the real human contents, because the human contents, the contents made by people nowadays today, it's so toxic, it's so toxic, it's so oh God, everything is so, it's so flexing, I don't know how to say this, but you get my point, right? Everything is so superficial, there is no soul, there is no heart anymore, not saying everything, but saying most, a lot of things today, nowadays, ironically, there is no heart, there is no soul anymore, you cannot feel the passion, you cannot feel the, it's from real human being, and it's strange, like how I can even feel more emotion, more the lost feeling, the lost dreams, the lost thoughts, the lost dreams that, it's from the AI, this AI generated contents. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? You wouldn't believe me, if I talk about this like 10 years ago, 15 years or 20 years ago, but hey, it's happening right now, or even 5 years ago, when AI was still at the very infancy, at the beginning level. But look at the progress now, AI, it's not perfect. When you, granted, to be fair, yeah, if you look at this, the video that I'm gonna share to you, this AI video, you will know, you will, some of you, perhaps all of you, maybe you will point out, oh, this mistake, that mistake, this mistake, oh, this the hand looks fake, it looks wobbly or whatever. But my point is not that, if you listen even to the music, okay, the music arrangement, I've talked in the beginning of this video, right? The music arrangement, God, if this is really by AI, if this music arrangement, which is music cover, right? If this music cover is generated by AI, I'm so surprised because it's so good. Musically speaking, as a musician, I know I can speak this. I'm speaking this I know because I'm a musician myself, right? I know what I'm talking about. At least in music department, in terms of music, it's so good. It's good. It's really good. At least you will say it's good. You cannot say it's bad. You will say it's good, musically speaking. Video, okay, you can debate about it. It looks like it's still stiff, rigid. Not doesn't look like real human. Okay, you can say whatever you want, but it's so emotionally again. The emotionally the feelings. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just me being emotional. Maybe me being nostalgic of my lost years. My lost dreams. That's why it's making me so sentimental. Sentimental. Yeah, that's the word. Sentimental, right? Because in today's world, I cannot get this feeling, this sentimental feeling. Everything is so about money, profits, business, work, job, career, image, status, about image, prestige, chasing this, chasing that, go after this, go here, go that, go do this, do that, do this. It's so, sorry, I had to say this, it's so fucking superficial. It's so fucking vain. It's so fucking soulless, heartless. You know what I'm talking about? And at least some of you will be able to relate with what I'm talking about. It's so sad to see the state of the human society, mankind, civilization. Don't get me wrong. There are good things. Like AI is a good thing, I would say. Yeah, I support AI. If you look at, if you watch my previous video, you will know. I'm actually pro AI. And I'm looking more into the far future. I'm not talking about practical. I hate people keep talking about practical. Yeah, because I know, because it's their jobs depend on it, right? But it's so it's still so short-sighted in my opinion. I'm looking more far into the far future. When I was interviewed by this overseas person, filmmaker, I also talk about the far future, and he agrees with me. This person who is also, I'm sure he's more experienced in all this AI, artificial. He knows more about AI than me, right? I'm just a layman. I'm just a average, ordinary, regular person. Nobody's actually who is just really interested with it. Happen to be interested in AI. Excited with all this, where all this AI thing will go. Will bring us. In the future. Or even in the near future, next 5 years or next decade, whatever, So I guess I will stop here because it's already getting longer than maybe this is the longest video. No, there is yeah, almost there was another video. By the time I finish this, maybe this will become the longest video because it's so emotional. I just like I've said before in the beginning of the video, I've just shared spontaneously. I just talk as I go, along with I go. I don't make superficial script or whatever, I just talk deep from my deepest heart, mind, my deepest feeling, thoughts, or even soul, spirit, in a figurative sense. I don't know if it's real or not, literally or not. Maybe that will be another video, next topic. Interesting topic. So yeah, it's so, I mean, watching this AI video again, back to the beginning, I guess I will close again by returning to the beginning of this video. My point at the beginning of this video. When I watch this AI video shared by my friend, he's a bandmate of mine also. He's a bandmate. He's a vocalist, and then he keep telling me, hey, we should, try to make a music, but deep inside I said, like, it's kind of pointless, because nowadays, even AI could make music, like I said, right? AI could make beautiful, good music, actually, even more than humans, more than people, real people. I said this, I've said this to my friend, yeah, I've said this, I've said that, like, the music that AI could make nowadays, some of them are even really, really, really good, are even better than what people, make, so yeah. So you can see, right? Can you see, like, it's so how mechanical, like I said, right, in the beginning of the video, how mechanical, how soulless, how heartless, everything is, a lot of things, actually, not everything maybe, but a lot of things, many things in today's world, today's life, society, era, whatever, it's so, everything is, a lot of things are, it's made by a real human, made by people, but it feels so empty. You know what I'm talking about? You see my point? That, and if you compare with what AI could produce, even AI could make us emotional. Have you ever felt that? Have you ever also experienced that, watching an AI video, especially, if they made a real life version of, our favorite comic books or anime, manga, things that used to be in our fantasy imagination, but now it can be made real, quote unquote, by AI, and then you see all these things, and then you see, oh my god, again, like I've said previously, the deeper aspect is, sometimes all this AI content reminds us, it reminds me of the lost, of the what could have been, of the lost dreams, of the things that I or we cannot achieve in reality, because it's just too much, it's just too much, realistically, it's just too much, dealing with people, dealing with everything, the society, modern society, the capitalistic, the money and everything, the issue, all the flexing, the hustle, the competitions, it's so too much, it's just too much, it's just too much, it's just too much, and then no wonder, some of us, or perhaps even many of us now, we escape, sort of like we escape into this virtual, so-called, quote unquote, virtual world, digital world, virtual world, or AI world, universe, AI contents, whatever it is, you know what I'm talking about, right? It's kind of similar concept, actually. It's a similar idea, similar things. We don't we escape from humans. That's my point. We escape from the human connection, human connection, human bonding, and we retreat more. It's so ironic, we retreat more, and even we find more value sometimes. At least in my case, personally, I find more emotion, deeply touched by emotion, heartfelt, heartwarming emotion from an AI video, from an AI content, more than many things that I've watched from people, from real humans, that made by real people, real humans, real person. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? It's so sad. It's so ironic, but it's just so, it's strange. Maybe it's funny to some of you, but I personally feel it's also sad. that we've come to this point now. It could also be exciting. Like I also said. Because we don't know what this AI thing will be in the future. I remember what I've just discussed. Maybe, hey, maybe in the far future, maybe, hey, maybe we could live inside all this, at least our future generation, maybe not us, we will already, maybe born too early to experience, all this AI generated virtual world or universe or realities or whatever, but maybe our future generation, if human species is still here, not gone extinct yet, because we tend to self-destruct ourselves, right, with our own stupidity, ignorance, obliviousness, so we'll see, we'll see, what the future will be. We might not be here anymore to witness, but it's sad. But that, again, that's reality, right? Reality is disappointing, right? Like I've told you. But this AI thing, oh my god. Oh my god. I'm thankful somehow, like all this AI thing, it invokes, is it the English word? It evokes something deeper in my heart, from my deepest heart, from my deepest soul, heart. It's so heartfelt, it's so heartwarming, heartfelt, I feel it touched me deeply, you know. Again, maybe I'm just too sentimental, maybe I'm just too melancholic, I don't know, whatever, maybe some of you will, most of you, all of you maybe will think, oh, I'm just being, too emotional. Yeah, it is, because it is personal for me, this is personal for me, this video, you know because you don't know what I've experienced, right? You don't know my life experience. This is, I'm speaking, of course, I'm discussing this based from my own life experience, so that's why I can feel personal. This videos feel more personal, more emotional, because I keep remembering, all these, all my failures, and the reality, the harsh, cruel, cold reality, of what could have been. And I look at all of this in the form of AI video, music video cover, that I've talked, discussed, and shared the video, you know. God, oh my God, I guess I have to stop right now. I'm getting emotional again, you know. I hope you get my point. Okay, it's a long video, I know, I'm sorry about that, but it's really a deeply personal video, please understand. Okay, so it's really personal for me, this particular video. So yeah, okay, I will stop here. If I don't know if any of you could perhaps somehow magically, miraculously find this video, and if you relate, please, you can, I would be really, really happy, honored even if you could leave a comment, if any of you could watch this video, hear this video, listen to this video, and then any of you could at least a little bit relate, even, to what I'm talking about, you can feel free to like, or just comment below. Okay, I would love to hear or read what's your opinion, what you think, what you feel. Okay, I guess that I will stop here for this video. So yeah, take care, everyone. Thank you for watching and listening, as always.